What is good? Welcome to Snap Squad. I am Gali Sovereign, and of course, I got with me Sir Knight. And today we are going to do the Two Snaps podcast. We're going to talk about the OTA card balance updates. We're going to talk about that new card sitting on your marketplace you might not want to buy, or you might want to buy it, Iron Lad. And should Galactus be banned? But let's start off with the OTA card balance updates, man. So yeah, man, we got these a couple of little changes, nothing really too drastic. I feel like I don't know, what do you think, man? Did Drax even was that even like a change that was like worthy? Like I feel like that didn't really make any difference for Drax.
Yeah, he's weak. Like he's weak no matter like what scenario he's in. But it makes sense to make him a 4/6 because they pretty much make like all the popular 4 drops as like a 4/6. Like White
Mhm.
Queen's a 4/6, Iron Lad's a 4/6, Enchantress is a 4/6, Rock Slide's a 4/6, the Thing is a 4/6. Like a lot of the primary 4 drops are like four
It's just
sixes.
do 4/6,
And
yeah.
so they just like it seems like they just kind of made him like the rest, right?
Mhm.
But now they're changing some of these 4/6s as we'll get to. So this is actually a buff for Drax because Drax's ability is like so random. You kind of like have to guess or
Yeah,
try to
you got to get it
play
right.
into where your opponent will play. It doesn't always work, right? So you're not always getting the benefit of Drax when you play him. Like when you
Mhm.
play White Queen or Rock Slide, you're always getting the benefit of the card. You don't have to. There's no like RNG or guessing, right? Like where should I play, right?
Right. Right. She's always
These
going to go
guys.
off unless she got a
So
freaking Cosmo or
it's
something.
you can almost just say let's say 40% of the time. It's like 1 in 3 because there's 3 locations, so there's like 1 in 3 chance. But you're probably also creating scenarios in which you can kind of also determine where your opponent might be playing. Like if you play a Storm lane and you play Drax after, that's probably a good chance you're going to get Drax's effect to go off because the
Mhm.
opponent's very highly incentivized to play into the Storm lane since it's the last turn
Right.
they can. So let's just say it's 40% of the time you get Drax's effect off, right? That means 60% of the time you're not. So with the previous version of Drax, that means he's always 5 power 60% of the time, right?
Mhm.
Now he'll be 6 power 60% of the time. So this is actually a net buff to his overall points he'll be giving you from game to game. So this is a buff. It doesn't
Mhm.
seem like much because in the end, if you get his effect off, he's a 4/8 in both scenarios,
Yeah.
whether he's the old 4/5 or the new 4/6. But
Yeah.
because he'll be a 4/6 on the misses now, that means he's giving you an overall net power of 1 a little over half the time. So it's a tiny buff,
Yeah.
but it's nonetheless. But it's a very
Right.
huge buff in my opinion.
Okay. All right, for sure. Yeah.
Honestly,
I guess I can see what you're saying there.
I honestly don't know if +2 power. I don't even know if a 4/8's worth it. Like I don't know if a 4/8's even strong enough, right? Like imagine they just made a card, a vanilla thing that was 4/8. I wonder how
Mhm.
often that'd be played. It probably would be played. But is it really like that busted? Is it really that broken? Is it better than Shang? Would I run it over Shang-Chi or would I run it over, you know, Enchantress?
Yeah,
Probably
probably
not
not.
because
No.
those cards are worth a lot more power. Like me killing a
Yeah.
9 power minion on the other side of the board, that's like, let's say it's just 9 power. Let's say I kill America Chavez with Shang-Chi. Well, that's 9 power they're losing plus 3 power from Shang-Chi I'm getting. That's a 12 power swing. So how is
Mhm.
adding just +2 power to Drax like going to compete with cards like Shang or Enchantress, right? So I don't even know if Drax is even good, even with his +2 power, even if he had it all the time. So
Yeah.
I just think Drax is kind of like a bad card in general.
Yeah. You know what one card I wish got like a nerf a little bit is Cosmo. I feel like
A lot of people talk about
if
Cosmo.
Cosmo's out there, dude, you can't really like stop. You can't stop Cosmo. You just have to like, you have to play ongoings and stuff like that, right? You have to get around the on reveal ability, but like there should be a way to shut Cosmo down. Like you can't even Enchantress Cosmo because it's a damn on reveal, so Cosmo just shuts that down. So I think he's a
See,
little
the
too
thing with Cosmo
unrealistic.
though, it's like without Cosmo, you then have no way of defending your board. So that's kind of like the difficulty, right?
Yeah.
Like Cosmo's super strong on his own. Like, yeah, I've won games just by playing Cosmo, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you start weighing down real quick
like if
with
I see
Cosmo.
Yando or Yondu, and then I see Electro, then this is Galactus, and like I can see the lane that the opponent is kind of like keeping clear, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
wait till turn 5. I'll drop Cosmo, he'll flip, and then shut Galactus off. Right, like Cosmo like wins games like on her own, right? But then if I don't have Cosmo, like if you nerfed it, right, or
Mm-hmm.
did something to change her effect, then it's like, how do I defend my, Dino? How do I defend any of my big cards from Shang-Chi, right? Or Enchantress? Like, is there any way for me to defend myself without Cosmo? So Cosmo is like that card that like it's very polarizing, right? Like some people hate it, and then some
Yeah.
people like say it has to be the way it is to have some counterplay, to things like Shang-Chi and stuff. So
Yeah. For
he's
sure.
a lot of people call for him being changed, like maybe like to a 4 cost or like a
Just like
4/3
a
or something.
slight change,
Yeah,
yeah, or something like that. Yeah,
yeah.
not a 3-3, but yeah, maybe like a 4-3 or something like that. Where he's gotta play it a little bit later. But yeah. So the next card is Rock Slide, man, and this is like one of your buddies right here for your Darkhawk deck.
I love
Um,
Rock Slide, man, so
so
much.
so he gets nerfed from a 4-6 to a 4-5, which I don't know. You tell me because I've never really used Rock Slide because I haven't had like a good use for him in a deck. So does him getting reduced by 1 power affect you and your Darkhawk deck?
Yeah, this isn't much of an effect at all. Like it's one
Okay.
less power. You're not going to be winning or losing games very often because of that 1 power. Because what you care about is just adding power to Darkhawk, and so this isn't affecting Darkhawk's power. It's only
Right.
affecting Rockslide's power. Sometimes I think that Second Dinner does nerfs like this to like have a shock factor and make people like feel bad, and then think to themselves like, oh, that deck must be bad now, and they just kind of stop playing it. I feel like it may not even have a real impact,
Hmm.
but they think that there's going to be like a mental impact where people might stop playing it because it's been nerfed. People
Mm,
just have this gut feeling that it might not be as good now, so I'll try something else. And maybe like
mm.
it gets people to try something else for a week just to get Darkhawk off the ladder. But if you really stop and examine like this nerf, like
That
this
1 point
isn't
ain't doing
much
shit.
of anything. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is not going to end. And anyways, I play lots of Darkhawk. It's what I use to get to Infinite this season.
Hmm.
And I played Rock Slide last night after the OTA patches, and I won just as many games. I was just as invincible, whether Rock Slide is a 4-6 before or a 4-5 now. So
Mm.
it had zero impact. Because what I care about is giving your opponent blanks. Like, how sucky is it, man, when you draw a freaking rock on your turn, right? And you're looking for
It
that
sucks,
piece.
dude. What really sucks is when
Terrible.
you get the freaking location that pops off. It says shuffle rocks into your deck, and you immediately pull a rock. Like, come on, dude. What's the odds of that?
Dude,
Like,
I know. That's the
I
thing.
hate that, dude.
That's what I love about Rockslide, even beyond like its synergy with Darkhawk. It's just the
Hmm.
simple fact that he's giving your opponent blanks. Like it's the worst feeling, and like that's the thing. Like you never really see it because like you
Hmm.
don't know if your opponent did draw a rock or not, but you know for certain if you did Korg and you did Rockslide in this game, there's 3
They
rocks in
got
your
it. They
opponent's.
bound to grab something.
Yeah, one of those turns, they're whiffing.
You're
Right.
right.
And like that is the worst feeling. And that's one thing that I hated about not having Darkhawk, because I didn't own Darkhawk for the longest time,
I
was
still don't own
my
Dark Hawk.
you still don't own Darkhawk,
Yeah.
is my opponent gets to play the rocks, man, and I don't, and they make my deck worse. Like it's
Right.
almost like, okay, I can deal with Darkhawk. I'll do whatever I have to like deal with him. But when they're
Right.
putting blanks in my deck too, just for free because it synergizes with Darkhawk, like that's the most frustrating. I feel like it's just right off the bat, I'm at a disadvantage, regardless on Darkhawk's power, just because the opponent is putting rocks into my deck. Like it's the worst feeling ever. So I
Yeah.
like playing Darkhawk just so I can put rocks in people's decks. That's like the best. So I
Yeah. I
could
feel
care
like they
less about
need
this.
like. Yeah, I feel like they need like a few more cards to put rocks in your deck. Do you play Black Widow in your Dark Hawk deck?
No.
No, because wouldn't that keep like another card in their deck until they play that 0/0?
Yeah, that would be a whiff, but I don't have room to put like a Black Widow in. Like I'm not gonna
Okay,
cut Korg. I'm not gonna cut Zabu. I'm not
right.
gonna cut
Okay,
like there's nothing I would cut to add her in.
got you.
If I was running like a more controlling deck, like then maybe I would consider Black Widow. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to just I have like I'm trying to do point slamming. So Black Widow is really weak. She's a 2-1. So like
Got
she's
you.
not really helping with my strategy of like slamming points on the board. You know,
Okay, yeah, that's
so she's
understandable.
she's a no go.
Yeah, and so then they did a nerf on Enchantress from a 4-6, which was like a good number, man, and dropping her down to 4-5. And it's kind of like, oh, why? You know what I mean? I mean, she's still gonna be played, but it's just like, why did you even touch her? Like, I don't know if that's gonna that like you said uh with the rock slide, like that 1 point is not gonna make a difference, but it was helpful when you're trying to do numbers with like Iron Man or something like that. But
Yeah. So
it's
here's my thoughts on like Enchantress. Like she was good as a 4-4. I know you liked her.
hmm
Like you were a big fan of Enchantress. You were
yeah,
running
I
Enchantress
use
before it was
her
cool to
as a
run
4-4
Enchantress.
for sure.
Yeah, you were running her before she was cool, right? And like I thought she was good as a 4-4. I thought she was supposed to be like a card that was weak but had a powerful effect, and you would just use her when the meta kind of demands it. Right? Like if
hmm
you're playing a meta where everyone's dropping, like Taskmasters at 20 power, then you're probably going to want to put Shang-Chi in your deck. You don't care that Shang-Chi's only 3 power
Right,
because he's killing something big on the opponent's board. You don't really care about Shang's power. I feel like
exactly.
Enchantress is the same. Like I don't really care if she's a 4-4 or not. I'm using her to shut off the Darkhawk or shut off the Dino, right? I'm using her to shut off the things that are killing me. So she's getting a
Yeah.
lot more power back off her effect than what her power is to begin with. So I didn't think she needed to be touched at all. But what I
Mhm.
think Second Dinner did was they saw a lot of Darkhawk, and for some reason, people just don't realize how good Enchantress is. I just think, like, for some reason, no one runs her. And
Mhm.
so they were trying to get this card into people's minds. And so I think they did this exorbitant buff to her, this 4-6, to
Mhm.
just make her a no-brainer now. So now you don't have to like decide, do I want to run Enchantress right now? You just run her because she's already as strong as the Thing, right? And she
Right.
has an ability. So you're already getting like a good power at a 4-6, right? And
Mhm.
then you also get her upside of her awesome effect. So they wanted just people to start running Enchantress, I think, to try to nerf Darkhawk. Dude, Darkhawk has been a problem in this game, dude. Ever since he launched, he's been a problem. He used to be a 4-2 when he first launched. Then they nerfed him to a 4-1, then to a 4-0. Now they're nerfing Rock Slide. Now they buffed Enchantress. All this,
They
in my
try to put
opinion,
him down.
dude, is just to stop Darkhawk. And I
Yeah.
don't think Darkhawk will ever be out of the meta until he's a 5-cost card. Because him being 4 cost is what makes him so busted. You can run him with Zabu. So he
Yeah.
becomes a 3 cost freaking, a 3/10, like easy, with just like one rock slide is a 3/10. And,
Mhm.
why would anyone not run that? As long as he's 4 cost, he's going to be in the meta like continually. So I
Yeah.
think they buffed Enchantress just to get people to play it to try to decrease
No,
Darkhawk.
they nerfed Enchantress.
No, they originally buffed her to a 4-6. Just 2 weeks
Oh,
ago,
okay.
they
Yeah,
buffed her
yeah.
to a 4-6.
Right.
I was actually disappointed in that because I was really starting to really enjoy Patriot. We played a little bit of Patriot, you and I,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I
for
was
sure.
enjoying Patriot, and I was like, oh, this is like so frustrating
Oh,
because
because now she's gonna be in all the decks, and
yes,
you're gonna get your Patriots nerfed. Yeah,
she's
yeah, I
going to
got
be in
you.
all the decks, and so you can't win. Like you literally can't win without Patriot. Where like Darkhawk still has other ways of winning,
Mhm.
but Patriot has no way of winning really without Patriot. And I was like, this is just frustrating because everyone's going to run her now, just auto include her because she's so strong just on her own, even without her effect,
Yeah.
that it's going to just push out ongoing decks. And I think I was kind of proven right, but it didn't push out Darkhawk, but it pushed out the decks that needed their ongoings like Patriot.
Yeah.
So I think they noticed that, and that's why they switched it back to a 4-5 because it was just too much, dude, too much.
Yeah. And then so they decided to give Venom like a huge buff, man. Like they made Venom. I thought that Venom was like a good card, like in my opinion. I just like really wanted Venom for like my destroy decks just because
I know you
I
did.
yeah, because I wanted him just because he got to keep all of the guy's power that he destroyed. So it's like I hate, kind of like having a bunch of stuff in a lane and then throwing Deathlock or whatever, or Deadlock in there, and then he destroys everything, and it's just 5. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, cool, I destroyed all that stuff for Null. That's great, but like I want to keep some of that power. Sometimes you get lucky and throw some big shit out there or whatever. But like at least with Venom, you know what I'm saying, you got to gobble everything up. And so you stay big in that lane as well as you feed Null and stuff. And they just kind of made this guy a little bad boy, with an extra 2. And I feel like it's just gonna go bananas. Like I haven't come across like a whole lot of destruction decks within like the last like day. I didn't see any last night, but I feel like that's gonna blow up. It's gonna be on the rise, man. Like the venoms and all the nulls and all that stuff is gonna really come out.
Yeah, I think we should maybe you and I, like when we stream and stuff, maybe revisit your null deck and
Mm-hmm.
see like if this helps it at all. But okay, like so the argument for Deathlock versus Venom, like in my opinion, before this buff, Deathlock just auto is better, entirely better, because think about the things you're trying to destroy. Normally, you're trying to destroy like a Bucky Barnes or like a Nova, or maybe like some tokens, like some squirrels.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're killing like really little things, right? And so when you play Venom, you have to kill 4 power worth of stuff just for him to match Deathlock,
Yeah.
right? So Venom is basically just like you're paying 3 mana to destroy stuff. He isn't really
Mm-hmm.
doing anything himself. Right, like you're literally just paying. Here's a 3 mana card I'm spending just to destroy stuff in my lane. He's not really pushing along your strategy. Like Deathlock, though, when you pay the 3 mana, you're destroying the stuff in your lane and you're adding 5 power to the lane. Right, so it's like it's just straight better than Venom. But
I
Venom is good late game, like on the last turn. You know where
mm-hmm.
Deathlock is, and when you have like locations filled, you can't play Deathlock now. Like you just can't. But Venom,
Yeah.
you could. So Venom had the upside of being better late game. Now Venom almost is better early game and late game. So
And
part
like
of me
yeah.
wonders if you would just play Venom over Deathlock now every time.
Yeah, I also liked Venom as well because with my null deck when I was playing it, um, I'm a I like to gamble, so like I'll do like a deathlock and a null because whatever happened for whatever reason I ended up having a full layout, and so on one side all I got is a deathlock, so it's like okay shit I used Mr. Negative and I got a null and an Arlem Zola. So what do I gamble with? Okay, I'll just try to put the null in the same lane as Deathlock, and then hopefully Arnim Zola will just hit null and spread them out. And a lot of
You do a
times
coin
I
flip, huh?
hit I hit yeah, and a lot of times I hit Deathlock, and that bastard just goes and pops off in 2 lanes and destroys everything. And I got bullshit in my lane, but at least if I did it with Venom, right? If Venom's in the lane and then I Arnim Zola Venom, he's just gobbling up everything else in the other 2 lanes, and I'm still big. So I liked having that as like, ooh, if I got Venom over here and I just destroyed a bunch of stuff, I can still put Venom over here and put Null over here if I want to, and
That's a
Arnim
great
Zola,
point.
and it still works for me. You know what I'm
Yeah, that's
saying?
an
I'm not
excellent.
assed out,
Yeah,
but
if you're
I
using
just
Arnim
Deathlock is
Zola,
just
that's a
terrible.
much better target, a world's better target, because there's no downside now. You're just
Right.
but the problem is you're only adding 3 power to each lane if you happen to hit Venom.
Yeah,
But that's better than just nuking your lane and losing, right? So like that's
for
a
sure.
huge difference, you know. So yeah, I think that's a great point, man. I don't know if people are thinking of it in those terms with Arnim Zola, with Arnim Zola, but yeah, like being able to use Arnim Zola on Venom makes him much stronger,
Yeah.
because you don't lose a power in that lane. Venom's cool too because if you've almost filled that lane up and you still want to play cards in that lane, you can
Mm-hmm.
use Venom to
Air it out a little
clear
bit.
clear
Yeah.
space and not lose the power in the space. Like
Right.
so Venom has some pretty cool utility. Or like I hate when the opponent, the problem is Venom sucks when the opponent does like a Viper and like moves like a demon or
So I was
a
putting BS
hood,
on you on
because
your
now
side.
you're
Yeah.
losing power with Venom, right? Because it adds that negative to him.
Right.
So that's a little bit of boner. That's a part where Deathlock is better.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
Venom's cool, on those lanes like the Raptor location when the 2 Raptors pop up. You could just clear those out, and it's the same as Deathlock now. So
Yeah.
Deathlock would do the same thing, but now Venom can match him. So he just seems like he's better because if you do, even if you do Bucky and this guy, it's one less power,
Mm-hmm.
but that you get the utility of being able to use Venom late game that Deathlock doesn't offer. I think just makes Venom like the better choice now over Deathlock.
Right. Yeah,
So
for
we need
sure.
we need to play some games. We need to get some Venom games in, man, and see how much better this guy is. He might be like really good.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he'll be a good run, but I feel like there's gonna be an influx of people doing destruction, and so whatever goes against destruction, like freaking Enchantress and Cosmos are just gonna be running rampant out there, you know. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, so then they did some other stuff, right? Then they give us like reductions of locations that they were
Yeah, they
changing as
did.
well.
They did change the locations. We could pull that up really quick. Um,
Yeah, they did quite a number of locations, but they were like all shitty locations that were just gonna get reduced for as often as you see them. There
yeah,
you
I
go.
really wanted to talk about these locations because when I looked at the OTA list, I don't always remember the location names, right? And
Uh-huh.
like and what they do.
Yeah.
But these are the ones that they changed. Attilan,
Mm-hmm.
Krakoa, Lechugilia, Morag, Plundered Castle, Sanctum Sanctorum, and Subterranea.
Subterranean.
So,
Yeah.
like, I think all these locations are annoying locations, right? These are locations like we all hate to see pop
Yeah.
up, right? Like,
Yeah,
no
for
one wants
sure.
to see a till, and you're like, damn it. I had the cards I needed, and this damn, location is going to shuffle my hand back into my
Yeah.
deck and draw 3 cards, right? Or if I had 5 cards in my hand, like I'm losing 2 cards now, or like
Yeah. That really sucks, dude. That really
it's the
sucks, man.
worst. So
Especially when you're running a Thanos deck and you've got like all your rocks going, you know what I'm saying? And you're getting a big hand, and then it's like, oh, all that shit gets wiped away for 3. And it's like, God,
yeah, and then no one likes Krakoa. Like, who likes that location? Like the
dude.
game takes over turn 5, basically just ruins your
Krakoa
game.
and Ego, man, I dread seeing both of those locations when they pop out because
I know, totally.
they. It's like, okay, I wouldn't mind it if the AI was just smarter, but because the AI is dumb as shit, like I think the only one that's even really like remotely any good is
No, all
Agatha
of
or
them.
whatever.
Ego, Agatha, and Krakoa, the devs have said are pure random. They play
Yeah,
random. There's no rhyme or reason to their
dude,
plays. It's just pure random.
I just be like, you dumb bitch, why is you playing an ongoing card in the ongoing is not is no longer going area like that one area where it says like ongoing cards no longer work or something like that, and it's got the smoke going down the lane, and she'll play something down there that's an ongoing card. Like, why? What are you doing? Like, it doesn't make any sense, man.
Right.
At least play my deck like with some logic. Don't do like the dumbest shit possible. You playing a Shang-Chi in a lane that got nothing. Why?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I know, because it's completely random. It just pulls
yeah,
cards
man,
that
it's
it can play. It
frustrating.
doesn't care what it's playing. So I'm really glad Krakoa. And from what I understand, Krakoa got dropped to ultra rare. So it's like less than 1% of the time you'll see it.
Oh, good.
Just like the Starship one, or what is that one that destroys? It's basically Galactus in a location.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. The World
Yeah,
Destroyer
yeah,
thing.
World
Yeah,
Destroyer. That's
yeah,
like that's ultra rare as well. So is Ego. So this got
yeah.
this got pushed down to those guys level because no one wants to
Mm,
see Krakoa, man. No one
nah,
wants to
dude.
see that. And then you have
Is Ego
Lechugilia.
an ultra rare also?
Yeah, Ego's ultra rare as well.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's why you barely ever see him. But
Yeah, yeah.
we've all seen him, but just very rarely we see him.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
And then Lechugilia, you play a card, he'll shuffle rocks into your deck. We all hate this
Yeah,
one.
that was
Although I like
another.
seeing this as a Darkhawk player. I love seeing this as a
Exactly.
Darkhawk player.
I think that they reduced this one because of Dark Hawk,
I
fool.
mean,
I think that they dropped
everything
that on there because of
everything
Dark
in this
Hawk, man.
game is about Darkhawk, dude. I swear.
Yeah.
This one, and then you have Subterranean as well, right? Like Shuffle Five Rocks. That's
Yeah.
also pro Darkhawk,
Yeah.
right? So
Last night I was playing and I must have seen Sanctum Sanctorum quite a few times, bro. I feel like they still ain't nerfed the shit enough.
really?
Yeah, bro.
You still
I still saw that bitch too many times, man.
Yeah, I can't
I was
stand this
just like,
one.
like, or that one, or I'd have like Morag a lot too, where
Really? You
you
can't play
can't
your
play the
first card
first card
here?
here. Yeah, yeah, dude. It's like I got a deck that maybe has like one card, one cost card. You
I
know what I'm
know,
saying?
dude. I
Like
know, dude.
I cannot play two
This is
cards.
the worst for Galactus. But this is
Yeah,
okay for Thanos, right? Like it's a good location for Thanos
yeah,
decks.
yeah. It's fine with
But
Thanos
not
because
a
I got
good
plenty of one
location
cost
for
cards. But
Galactus decks. This is
yeah,
worse for Galactus. Yeah. So well, that sucks. You still saw them. I didn't really see these at all when I was playing last night.
yeah. I
So,
definitely saw Morag and I saw Sanctum.
but a lot of people say that this is kind of like a Jeff nerf as well, because
Mm,
Jeff ignores all this stuff, right? Jeff goes where Jeff wants to go. The Baby
yeah.
Shark. So Sanctum was like a good location for Jeff because you could just play Jeff into him.
Right, right,
He
right.
just
And
ignores
then you
it,
just win that spot, yeah.
and you win that spot. So
That
this
or
kind of hurts
Doctor
Jeff.
Doom, right?
So it's kind of like, yeah, Doctor Doom's great for this location. So that these are like really these are nerfs for things like Doctor Doom's, yeah, and Jeff's, like where you can really like play on the locations
Yeah,
and sneak some wins because of location RNG. But now you don't
yeah.
really have those choices any longer.
Yeah, I used to just like I just be hoping like I could get, Wolverine out there like turn 2
Yeah,
and then and
try
hope
to
that
jump
I
them
could get
into
an
Sanctum.
RNG to get him to pop over there. Yeah, if I wasn't able to get Galactus, going or whatnot. But yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah,
So this
I'm
is good
definitely
news.
glad to
This
see
is
those
like
are
really
removed.
good news. These
Yeah.
locations are terrible. No one likes them. We all hate
Yeah,
them.
cause I
So
mean, I would much rather a location get locked out because somebody played Professor X on me than for the location to just be locked out immediately. Like it gives me no opportunity to combat or have a possibility of anything. You know what I mean? At least if he got me with a Professor X, it's like there, you drew that bitch quick, threw that out there. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like
But
I've had those games, where like a bar with no name pops up and then Sanctorum pops up, and it's like, where are we even playing Marvel Snap at? One location? Like we can't play
yeah,
the game. Like how do
that's
we
a
even play the
horrible
game?
combo. That's a
It's like
horrible combo.
terrible,
Yeah.
dude. It's like, how do we even play Marvel Snap right
It
now?
should almost be something in there that shows that there's not two lockout
I
locations or
agree.
two
Why
locations
can't
like
the
that
system
at one game.
recognize that it has two lockouts, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I
It should
agree
just
with
be
that.
somewhere coded in there that if you've got a bar with no name, Sanctum Sanctorum and Morag
Can't
should not
pop.
be there.
Right, can't
Yeah.
pop. Yeah,
Right.
exactly, dude. I don't understand why that's not in there, because that happens quite a bit where you have like two locations like you can't even play into.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
that just
Like it's
totally
like
F.
this is stupid.
Yeah, at that point
Um,
it's just you just
it might
leave.
as well be Galactus. It might as well be the World Breaker or whatever location. It might as well be that location because you can't play
Yeah,
anywhere else.
yeah,
So
for sure. And then I think was there any other location stuff?
these are all the
Scroll down
locations, I
some more.
believe.
Cause there was didn't they? They just added new locations. I think they added a few new locations or something like that.
Yeah, they add a few locations every month, but
Right.
I don't know where those are at.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, that's cool. So let's go on to the card of the week or whatever in the store. The new card. Iron Lad.
yeah, Iron Lad.
Yeah.
I actually own Iron Lad.
Yeah, yeah. This guy went and sprung for Iron Lad this week, man.
Yeah, I did. I
And we
did.
had talked about it last week when we were talking about some of the cards, man, and it seemed like it would have a cool effect. You did stream, so if you guys haven't checked the stream out, go and check it out. One of the videos on there, we got Iron Lad. Is he worth it or whatnot? And it looked like when you can get him, like it looks like just because you have an on reveal deck, he's just good to get like one of those effects again. But it seemed like a lot of times you were getting some pretty decent effects going with him, like with some Dark Hawk or with Devil Dinosaur. like more times than not, you know,
Yeah, so
or
I primarily
Iron Man.
run him with Darkhawk and Double Dino.
Hmm.
And I kind of also really like hitting Rock Slide, of course.
Yeah,
Korg isn't too bad. I don't mind hitting Korg. So
yeah.
like those are the cards I really like hitting. Um, and yeah, it's shocking how frequently you hit Devil, Dino, and Darkhawk. I'm actually surprised how frequently you hit them. But that was kind of like one of the things that I learned about Iron Lad is that he's not something you can depend on.
Mm.
Like you can't depend on him hitting what you need.
For like a
So he's
clutch.
kind of he's kind of like a gamble, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like you would think like, oh, I'll just make my deck so like every card he hits is good. That's true, but there's always a card you wish he hits. Right? Like in every situation when you're playing, you're like, yeah, I made my deck so every card is good, but I don't want it to hit a certain card. Even though like every card is good, I don't want it to hit a certain card, right? Like
Right.
I want it to hit this specific card. And so you end up feeling like, damn, dude, like I don't even know if I want to play this guy right now because I need a specific card right now. And I have no guarantee he's going to get that for me. So I just feel like I'm gambling and hoping that he wins the game for me. He gives me that feeling when I play him. So
Hmm.
sometimes he kind of feels a little bad when you play him. So that's kind of odd.
Mm.
And then also, believe it or not, I've lost games because of Iron Lad. So
Really?
there was one game, yes, there was one game where I played a Moon Girl and I copied Mystique,
Hmm.
and then I had Quinjet, and I think it was like a limbo game, so I went to turn 7.
Yeah.
And so I think like I played like Iron Lad, he was like a 3 or 2, and then like Mystique, Iron Lad, and
Hmm.
like 2 Mystiques. And I had played Darkhawk the previous turn. So I used my Mystiques to copy Darkhawk, and then I used my second Mystique to copy this Mystique, which had
Hmm.
copied Darkhawk. And so I had 2 Darkhawks.
You had 3 Darkhawks out there.
I had 3 Darkhawks on the board, and then I played Iron Lad for my third card.
Uh huh.
And he my Mystiques were kind of low in power. They were like a 6 power. And I was like fine with that because it was like 12 power. I put 2 Mystiques into the lane, right? So it was like 12 power I was dropping in the
Yeah.
lane, and the opponent had like 1 slot. I was like, there's nothing they could possibly drop here to beat 12 power,
Hmm.
right? I had priority. So I played Iron Lad. Iron Lad freaking copied Rock Slide. So added 2
Mm.
rocks into the opponent's deck. You think, well, that's why is that bad? Because my
Yeah.
opponent played Shing in that lane, assuming I played something big there. And my enchantresses grew 2 power to 10. Both died
Oh
to Shang, and
damn.
I lost the lane. So I was like,
Damn.
damn, dude, Iron Lad just lost me the
It
game
just so happened
because it
to.
just so happened to hit a rock slide. It was like the worst feeling ever,
That's
man. I was
just
like,
bad
oh,
luck. Yeah.
so that's just pure unluck. But see, something like,
It's because you had Prio. If you didn't have Prio, you would have
and
got
then
that.
Pryo
That would have
screwed
been
me, but
easy.
something like White
Yeah.
Queen would never do that to me.
Right.
Like White
Right.
Queen would never have an RNG swing like that, or
Yeah.
like
That's true.
Iron Lad does. But Iron Lad's upside is so high, you take the good with the bad, right? Like you kind of just like you have the situations where he might ruin the game for you, but
Yeah.
then
Like, what are the
like
odds? What are
but
the
then he
odds that
wins you a lot
happens?
of games, man. Like he wins you a lot of games too. So you take the good with the bad. But I always tell people, like, if you want to watch, I did a deck profile on our channel. So if you go to Snap Squad and check out the what I believe is the best deck in the game, I believe that this is the best deck in the game, and I'm not just saying that like facetiously. Like I really mean that. I'm not clipping.
With
I'm not
Iron Lad in
clickbaiting.
it or just Dark Hawk? Dark Hawk.
Well, with Ironland in it, but I mentioned in that video that I do feel that you could easily remove Ironland and just put in White Queen and see
Mm.
just as much success.
Mm.
So this is the deck I would recommend everyone play when Darkhawk drops to Series 3, which is going to be like next week.
Okay.
He's going to drop to Series 3 with you, and then every one of these cards are Series 3 or lower.
Mm.
So this is not a
Yeah.
hard deck to make if you cut Iron Lad for White Queen. And you'll see a lot of success with White Queen, just as much, to be honest. I was playing this deck without Iron Lad before
Hmm.
Iron Lad dropped, and I was kicking major butt. Just because Mystique is so good, man. Mystique and
Yeah.
Zabu and Quinjet, like no one sees Mystique coming. Like no one calculates Mystique. One of my favorite things to do is just play like play like Devil Dino, and then
Hmm.
turn 6 play Mystique and like Darkhawk, because like Darkhawk will be 3 because of Zabu and Mystique is
Yeah.
3,
Right.
So that's so much power, dude. Like in the
That
very
is.
last turn, or if I copied Mystique with Moon Girl, I just double Mystique off my Devil Dino, right, and then play like a
Yeah.
Sentinel or something. Like it just like Mystique is easily one of my favorite cards, and the reason why I think this deck is so much better than the other decks that are out there right now because she just like she slams points out of nowhere for such a
Mhm.
cheap cost.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
So
definitely jelly. I want freaking Darkhawk, and I've been trying to go for him, but I just haven't had the luck yet. I don't even know, like, out of the cards that I've popped in the collector's reserves, if I've like, when's the last time that I got
Series 4.
a series 4? Like, Tuma's not a series 4, right?
No, not anymore. Well, it depends on when you pulled him. He was at one
I pulled
point.
him
Right
like
now, he's
maybe like last like this week or last week, something like that.
oh, then he was Series 3 then.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Atuma was the last card that I got, and then I got like Luke Cage, you know, Hell Carrier. That one's a series 3, I know for sure. Hazmat's
Well,
gotta be a series 3.
we can look at the Series 4 cards here.
Yeah, because you said it was like a certain period of time when that
Yeah,
you'll
we're gonna look
play.
at we can look at that next. But here's all the Series 4 cards.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know which one of these you have.
I do
Uh,
have Zabu and Sauron. I don't have Silver Dazzle. I think I might have Sentry. I might not. I probably don't have Sentry. Let me
I
see.
don't have Sentry. I know
I
that.
don't think I have Sentry. Let me see. Yeah, no, I don't have Sentry. I don't have Sentry. And then go down some. Uh, I've got Modoc. The last four that I got was Stature. Then
Oh, you
I
have
had
Stature, bro?
yeah, I just got Stature like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, something like that. Like probably like
Okay,
2 weeks
you
ago.
should probably
2 weeks ago.
be getting close to a four Series 4 soon in
Okay,
the
I
next
got
week or
no
so.
like mad early, dude.
You
I
must have
got
got him
no
when he
when it
was
was like a
Series 5,
5.
maybe. That's
Yeah, I got
crazy.
no. I've had those for a
I
long
actually
time.
pulled Stature when she was 5.
Oh, okay, nice.
She's the only 5 Series 5 card I've ever pulled from a box.
Mm,
But she wasn't even that good. Now she's all good, but of course it's with Darkhawk.
mm.
Everyone runs Statue with Darkhawk. So
Okay, but
like
you didn't
he
have
is
Stature in your Dark Hawk deck, did
no,
you?
it's a different deck people run. It's this one here. The deck
Okay.
people run is this is the one everyone says is the best deck.
Uh
Is
huh.
this Stature, Black
Okay,
Bolt,
and you freaking bought
Darkhawk?
Jeff too, huh?
But I don't
uh,
play him. I kind
you
of
don't use
regretted
them at
buying
all.
him. I kind of regretted buying Jeff.
Mm.
Wish I had those tokens back
Yeah, I got 3
because
reserves right now. I'm just waiting to pop. I don't
I
want to
always
pop.
wait till I have 4. You should wait till you have 4 because then you probably guarantee yourself a Series 3. Every time you
Maybe.
open 4, you should get a Series 3
I
card.
think the last time that I opened 4, I didn't get shit. I got like avatars, and I got an avatar, gold tokens, and credit. That's what I got. I didn't get a card, but I try to wait until I have 5, because if I do 5, then I know I'm getting a card at least.
It's weird. Like I really like Mystique with this base gray background, dude. I don't want to like upgrade it. I don't want to like upgrade
Well, I
her.
mean, you've already upgraded that sucker twice, so it's like keep putting him into it is a
But
little
it's like
overkill.
I like the gray background. It's interesting because like I think it
I
looks really
thought
good with the
I
gray
was hoping
background.
that you could just keep upgrading the shit, and then it would just get like more spectacular. Like it would have
It
all
kind of
kinds of
does.
shit
It kind of
tools.
does. But I won't upgrade her all the way until I have 144, whatever it is, to do like a full split, and then
Mm,
I will upgrade her because I like the way she's like the card looks right now. It's really
got
cool
you.
right now.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, man. So let's look at the list of the cards for this month that's coming out.
yeah, the series drops.
Yeah, yeah, the series drops.
So we got May. And
Right.
so
So
Iron Lad just launched, so that means next week we're gonna get Howard the Duck, or maybe it's like early next week. I don't know the exact day that these things drop on,
Yeah, it says
but
like
Howard the
6
Duck.
days from now. I think is when it'll change.
How many days from now does it say on there?
6. Let me see. Let me be sure. Sorry, no, 3 days. 3 days.
Okay,
So
so it must be every Monday then.
Tuesday or whatever, Monday. Yeah.
Tuesday night, or yeah, Monday night must be when they launch. Yeah, I think it is Monday nights. Yeah, it's Monday nights
No.
for us here in SoCal. It's Monday nights. So Monday night they will launch Howard the Duck, which is a pretty cool card. When he's on the board, he lets you click the top card. He lets you click on him, and he shows you the top card of your deck. And so I thought there was really great comparison someone made to him, that he's kind of like King the Conqueror, in the sense that you can kind of see what you're going to get and kind
Oh,
of
and snap.
and snap, yeah, or retreat, Like
Right.
you kind of
Right.
like see the future, right? Kind of like
Yeah.
how King like kind of let you see the future. Like Howard the Duck is kind of doing something similar to that, but he's letting you do it every turn. So
Yeah.
that was kind of intriguing to me. I think someday I'm not going to spend tokens on him. I'm not going to spend 3,000 tokens on him, or of course 6,000 tokens
But you
on him.
might play him.
But when he drops to Series 3, I might, give him a shot and see, like if he's good, or I'll watch some reviews on him.
Yeah.
But there's no way that I'm going to spend 6K on this guy. I advise, if anyone's watching this, to not buy Howard the Duck for 6K. If he turns out to be good, then maybe. But this is a card I would, at the very, very minimum, wait. Just wait and see.
Mm. Yeah.
So few people are
Yeah, for
probably going to
sure. I
buy
mean,
this card.
it's kind of like a niche little thing. Like I'd have to see, like you'd have to spend the 6K on Iron Lad this week, right? And then you'd have to gather up another 6K for Howard the Duck next week to be able to like really utilize Iron Lad properly. Like, oh yeah, Dark Hawk is on top, so boom, Iron Lad. You know what I'm saying? I don't know like what other instances. I mean, I guess it'd be like cool to know, but like I don't know what other instances where it would just be like super broke.
Just basically Iron Lad and Jubilee, right? And then also
Oh
just
yeah, Jubilee.
let you know if you should snap or not. I think those are really his primary utilities.
Yeah.
Other than that, he doesn't got much use. And he's a weak 1/2, like he's not adding much power to the board. Like he's not doing a whole
Yeah, I
lot
feel
for
like they
you.
gotta
So
for these new cards, they got to give them like a really wicked ass ability, or they got to give them a little bit more power. You know what I mean? Just like
yeah.
something that'll make you want to like play the card. Because I feel like the only people that are gonna buy this are like the YouTubers that got like mad mad coinage to just buy every card that's new that comes out so that they can have the relevant topics and stuff like that. But like
Yeah, I totally
the
agree.
regular
Like no
players,
one's
man, I'm
buying
like,
this.
I'm not gonna buy that. Yeah, I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna just wait
Dude,
that one
it's
out.
amazing. It's amazing though, like the difference between it being a 1/2 and a 1/3. I feel like if this was a 1/3, dude, his value would like
Might be worthwhile.
skyrocket.
You
Yeah,
think
like
that one
one
point is gonna
three,
help it? It needs to be a 1/4,
dude.
bro. Honestly, it needs to be a
No,
one
one
four.
three is good. I used to run Blade, just because he was a 1/3, and I would just play him on turn 6. So I wasn't playing him on any other turn but turn 6, just
Really?
because he's a 1/3, which is just on turn 6 only, because I
Huh.
wasn't trying to do a discard deck. So I would just play
Oh,
him on
okay.
turn 6 when the game's over and there's no reason to have a hand anymore. I would play Blade
Mm-hmm.
on turn 6. I was playing Rocket Raccoon too, just because there's a chance of him being a 1/4. But if he was just a 1/3 base, I would probably play. I wish they had a 1/3 base vanilla card, but they don't. Like I guess they think like a 1/2 is the base vanilla card, which is Misty Knight.
Mm.
But I always felt
Oh,
like
okay.
that'd be so cool if they had like a thing version of like a 1/3.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crazy just how adding that one singular power to like a 1 cost makes it like so much better. Like
You know
0 is
what?
pretty strong because he's a 1/3.
They just might add an extra point to do when they realize that he ain't getting no play. They might add just that extra point on him just
That'd be
cause,
sick. It would
you
make
know.
me want to buy it. Honestly, I'd probably run him in every deck. Really, if he was a
Yeah.
1/3, I'd probably auto
You
include him in
think?
like every deck. I'd
Mm.
probably include him over Nebula, maybe.
Oh
Like that's
yeah,
how
dude.
strong he'd be.
I've played Nebula, man, and she honestly don't be getting that big. Like most of the times, it's like okay, I might play her, and then like they'll just kill her pretty quickly with Killmonger, or they'll they'll end up playing in the location, or a lot of times like it just I don't get her until like later in the game, and then it's like irrelevant to have it in my pocket, because it's a 1-1. You know what I mean? I feel like if she was maybe like a 1-2 or possibly like a 1-3, she would be
No
a lot
way.
better. But
No
like
way.
hear me out.
You're
Hear me
so
out though. Hear
stupid.
me out though, right? I know, like, oh, if she's a 1-3, she's gonna climb like high as fuck. But that's okay because you got dudes like Shang-Chi that can wipe her off the map. You have Killmonger that can just take her out quick as hell. Like
Yeah, but you only
she's not a
spent one
problem.
mana. You only spent one energy on her. Like I'm
Yeah.
using my Shang-Chi to kill your one energy card. What about the cards you played on turn 5? What about the cards you played on turn 4, like your bigger cards? I have to use Shang on the one card, the one drop you played turn 1? Like
Well,
there's
the
no way,
the
man. That's
the
too
great
strong
thing
for a one
about
drop.
Shang-Chi is if you throw anything else in there that's big, it's all getting knocked down.
But
Shang-Chi
you're not
just
going to be throwing anything else in there that's big because she's carrying the lane for
I
you.
be throwing heavy shit in there too, but
Well, right now you kind of do because she needs a little help. She can't really win it
she
on
need
her
a
own.
lot of
But she
heavy.
wins it on her own if you
Milk.
play her with Storm. Like she's sick with Storm or she's sick with Professor X, right?
Yeah, but okay, so Professor X, it just takes so long to get Professor X out there.
Well, I'm
It
saying
cut
if you're playing
short
like a
short for
like
me.
a uh, like a Thanos deck where you're like using Time Stone to like cheat him out on turn 4, she's gonna grow
Yeah,
4 power. You're adding 4 power by doing that. Like I think that's pretty strong. I don't know. I think she's really
yeah.
strong. I don't know if she's objectively better than Sunspot, but I'll tell you what, man. Like when I was playing lots of Sunspot, I really missed that
Mhm.
1 power when they nerfed him to a 1-0. Because there'd be lots
Yeah,
of
yeah.
times where like I'd be on turn 6 and I have one mana to use, but there's no point in
And
playing
it doesn't make
Sunspot
no
because it's
point in
zero
dropping
power.
them. Yeah.
At least Nebula still has a reason you can play her like on turn 6. There's at least 1 point of power there where they completely robbed that from Sunspot. So Nebula, I think, is
Yeah.
the best one drop maybe in most cases right now. Um, but I mean, yeah, she can be played around. I'm surprised how well she's been played around. Actually, like she hasn't been like that oppressive. I thought she'd be a little more
Mm-mm.
oppressive than she is. But like I
Right.
said, even her just ticking up one time, which she's like guaranteed. She's basically guaranteed to tick up one time if you play her turn 1. If you play her
Yeah.
turn 1, she's
If you can
guaranteed to
play her
tick up
turn
one
one,
time.
yeah, for sure. I
Because
think if
turn 2
anything,
will
if she
tick,
could.
2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 will tick. So that's 5
Mhm.
ticks. But your opponent can only play 4 cards. So like if you play her turn 1, she's guaranteed to be a 1-3,
A 1-3,
right? But
yeah.
if she becomes a 1-5, that's extra premium. There isn't any 1-5 in the game except for like Titania, and she's got like she's difficult to play with Titania.
She got
So
them,
it's
yeah,
like
some weird parts. Yeah.
that weird mechanic where if you play a card or she switches sides, where Nebula is just a free 1-5. Like so I think Nebula is a really strong card. But yeah, she's
Mhm.
not as like oppressive as you might first think when we first saw her.
Yeah,
Right.
for
Because
sure.
like
I think if she got her ability off rip, like let's say like if you
oh the turn
dropped
you played her too, it's too
yeah, if
strong,
she
man.
got it on the turn, that'd be really nice. But like it would also still be countered because like if you dropped a card in the same field that she was getting dropped at, it wouldn't pop off. But if it was an empty field, then boom, she pops off instantly.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm
This
saying?
is why I
But
say here's a pro tip for everyone listening. A pro tip on Nebula is if you have her turn 1, always play her into the location that is visible because the opponent has a high. Most people are going to play into a location they can see than into a blind location because there's that risk, getting miniature labs or something like that and getting screwed in a blind location. So people
mhm,
usually if they have a one drop, they play it into the visible location turn 1. Play Nebula there because if you play Nebula there and your opponent plays a one drop there as well, then she'll be a 1-5 guaranteed because now the opponent can only play 3 cards in that location to slow her down. If
mm,
you play her into a blank lane that your opponent doesn't play into, then you give them the opportunity to play 4 cards into that lane, which lets her only tick up once. So you want to play her usually into the lane that is revealed and not into the
mhm.
unrevealed lanes because the opponent is probably not going to play into the unrevealed lanes. They're going to be it's more likely going to be played into the revealed lane. So play Nebula turn 1 into the revealed lane. That's the best
Gotcha.
strategy for her.
Okay.
Anyways, so moving on to
And
High Evolutionary, which has been confirmed to be a big bad.
so he is confirmed to be the big bad.
Confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. He
he's
wasn't really
confirmed.
that big and bad in the Marvel the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but all right, we'll go with it. I
Yeah, I think the reason why is because I know that a lot of people are saying that like he's not really much of a big bad in comparison to like Thanos, and Kang,
yeah,
who are like seriously
right.
powerful dudes. But he has the dopest effect, man. He's like a Thanos. Like he's his own archetype. Like he alone, that one card is like a deck.
Hmm.
Right? Like that's what's cool. Like that's what Thanos is like, right? You put Thanos in your deck and you got like a whole special unique deck that no one
Right,
else
right. You
has.
got
Like
extra set of six
yeah,
cards and all
just
that
just
stuff.
being one card, and Thanos is just one card, but he like changes. He's like his own special deck. That's what High Evolutionary is, and I think that's why they made him a big bad because
Mm.
he's like a one on his own archetype, and so um, he's going to be a lot of fun. I recommend people getting him, but at the same time, everyone's going to get him because he's a big bad. So everyone knows that
That's
it's the best way to spend your tokens. You guarantee, no depreciation.
yeah.
So everyone gets the big bads. So everyone's gonna run this. I have a feeling, dude, when this guy launches, it's gonna be
It's
like
gonna be everywhere.
every game is gonna be a freaking High Evolutionary mirror match, man. Like,
Yeah. The only thing
everyone
that I
wants this
wish
dude.
the only thing that I wish it did was I wish that effects were random. That they weren't like it wasn't like a guaranteed set of effects for cards that didn't have abilities. That like these cards get that. Like I wish it was like a pot of abilities and like boom, all the cards now have new abilities. And it's just all random. So you might get a Dark Hawk ability in there. You might get a Hit Monkey ability in there in one of them cards. You might get an Iron Man ability or something like that. You know what I mean? But like I just wish that he really evolved like all those cards. And then it would be really dope if like you could incorporate like Sauron or something like that so that
Mm-hmm.
cards didn't have abilities when you played it. So then it really changes the game. Like you can have
The
like
problem
a
is
bunch of
though.
different cards.
The problem with
RNG that
that though
shit.
is
Man.
no. The problem is they have to develop those abilities. Like that's a lot of work on their end to like come up with like multiple different abilities to
Well,
slap
no, they could
onto a
just use
card, right?
all the abilities that they already have in the pot that they've already created.
Oh, you mean use existing abilities?
Yeah, yeah, just use existing abilities, but like put them out there. You know what I'm saying? So that
No one,
you
dude.
just got big ass RNG on your shit.
No one would want to play that card because there's no way to
Too
know it's going to
random.
be a good deck or not. Yeah, there's no way to know if like this is going to be a good
I
deck
think
or not,
I think that
dude.
would give it a little spice. You know what I mean? Like you could just like you could change the whole shit. You know, you like if I like
No
the
one would
power of
want
a
this
card.
card, man. No one
If
would
I
want
like the
this
power
card.
of a card, but I don't want to. I don't want like the basic ability or whatnot. You know what I mean? Maybe I have a chance of getting like a really good ability with this 4/6 thing. I get 4/6 thing, and then thing also has Devil Dinosaur power. So it's like,
I
like
actually think that High Evolutionary is going to be really cool with Thanos. And I think like all you run in High Evolutionary
mm,
is basically like what is it? Is it Abomination? I think Abomination. His effect becomes cost one less for every card on your opponent's side. You've decreased by one power. So you
oh,
just
so
play
Soul Stone.
Soulstone. So basically,
Mm.
Soulstone on its own basically makes Abomination cost like 0 or 1. Like so, just adding High
Well,
Evolutionary to
Abomination
Thanos,
is
I
a
think will
six
be really
nine,
cool.
right?
No, Abomination is a 5/9.
Abomination is a 5/9.
Yeah.
Really?
So if you've
Oh, shit.
decreased your opponent just by 4 cards with just the Soul Stone only, he'll be a 1/9.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you'd be able to get a fifth card decreased somehow, he would be a 0/9, which is like
Is it
super
just your
cool.
opponent's cards,
Yes, your opponent's card.
or is it any cards decreased?
Your opponent's cards.
Dude, you can hazmat that, bro.
See, you can even do Wasp, because the new effect Wasp gets.
Wasp
I think
is
Wasp
nice.
becomes so busted with High Evolutionary. Wasp is
Yes, the
she's a
Wasp does
zero
become a good.
one. Dude, she's a 0/1. So she costs no
Yeah,
mana, and she's giving you one power, and she decreases power on 2 cards in your opponent's side for 0 mana. Talk about a one
yeah,
three. Now, I was just talking
yeah,
about,
yeah.
I
That's a
wish
good.
I
That's
could
a
get a
good
one
one.
three. Dude, she's a
Yeah,
0/3. Like, that's so busted, man. Like, you can just run that
yeah.
and, like, basically, Abomination in
Uh
your
huh.
Thanos deck, and you've already made your Thanos deck better, in my opinion. Like, and then
Yeah,
you could run
for
like
sure.
Lockjaw, so you can even put her in the Lockjaw. So you play her in the Lockjaw. She nukes the board for -1 on her side, and then she replaces herself with something. Like, that's super super strong, man. Like,
Yeah, I mean, with High Evolutionary being like one of the new cards that's coming out, and then and the store actually allowing you to buy the new card. Before I had locked Kang in, and I had Kang on the Series 4, Series 5 buy for like almost like 2 weeks now and whatnot. And I was just saving up tokens to get it. And then when I saw that, they had like the store so you could buy Iron Lad and all those, I'm like, damn,
mm-hmm.
like Kang is cool, right? And I wanted to get him just because he was a big bad, and it's like, one of the
Mm-hmm.
one cards that you'll spend like the 6K on or whatever. But like if there's a possibility of another big bad coming out, and I can get him, like I would more so play High Evolutionary than I would Kang. I feel like
Totally.
King is like a cool
That was a
card,
smart
but it's
decision,
like
man. That
for
was a smart decision.
like a little niche deck or whatever that I wouldn't really play like that. But High Evolutionary, I mean, that could be more fun than Kang would, because I'd be trying to think
Absolutely.
about like, okay, what can I take out of my deck to put Kang in? You know what I mean? Whereas High Evolutionary is just literally just a deck on its own. The only
Exactly.
problem is
Exactly.
that I feel like you're just gonna have like the set amount of cards. You know what I mean? Because High Evolutionary has like the card. I think it's more than 7 cards that he has. Right? Isn't like how many cards is it that he's able to change? Like how many vanilla cards are there? Is there like
Let's
12,
see.
14?
Let's see. No ability. He can change. He changes Shocker.
Mm-hmm.
He changes Wasp. He
Brute has an ability.
changes
Why is that in there?
because his little broodlings have no
Oh,
ability.
okay. Got you.
So
Those are
it's
what I
gonna
think
throw
should be
stun
altered
waves.
by evolutionary also. I think like all of the
The
spawns should
squirrels,
should be.
little like
Yeah, the squirrels and
souped up
stuff.
squirrels, dude. Little souped up
Yeah,
squirrels.
just like Rocket Raccoon, you know what I mean?
Little one
Rocket Squirrel.
threes. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. So
dude.
basically, it's gonna
Um,
be Shocker, Wasp,
mhm.
Misty, Abomination, Hulk, Cyclops, Thing. So quite a few cards, man.
Yeah,
Quite a few
yeah, for sure.
cards.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess you'll have like a couple of other cards to put in there to
I
kind of
think this
switch
is the
things
one
up.
though that's gonna really like be game changing, man, for sure. Like getting a
You
one
want
nine
one
or a
nine?
0/9 is like so OP.
Yeah.
I
Do you think you
definitely
throw a
envision
moon?
myself.
Uh,
Oh, you can
what
even
happened?
Moon Girl him, yeah, for
Moon
sure.
girl
Moon
that thing?
Girl, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, that'd be great. Imagine that, dude. Like you played, Wasp, you played, I think, Cyclops, and then you've decreased, your opponent's board by like 4 or 5 cards have been, nerfed, and
Mm-hmm.
then you have She Hulk, and you play Moon Girl, and you copy 2 She-Hulks and 2 Abominations, man. Dude, that's a lot of power turn 6. So you skip turn
Yeah.
5, like entire you just skip turn 5, and then you just
Mm-hmm.
play freaking Abomination, 2 Abominations and 2 She-Hulks. Dang.
Man,
Like
dude.
that's crazy, man. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna be
And
seeing
I
people
think
do that. Moon Girl's gonna
I
be
think it
doubling
would be kind of
Abomination a lot. Huh?
I think it would be kind of fun to play Thanos in that deck, but you might not want Thanos just because of all the ones that are in there. I mean, it would help you draw some of that stuff out, but
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really good just because Soulstone synergizes so well with this decreased power stuff. So
yeah,
I'm curious.
maybe put Killmonger in there just to like eradicate the stones so that they're not like cluttering up the way, you know?
You
Like
could
you
do
just don't play
Killmonger. You could do Killmonger. Yeah,
Killmonger and
I
then
think like
Soul Stone.
Wasp becomes so much better. So you're gonna play Lockjaw, probably Lockjaw for sure. So you can go Lockjaw Wasp or Lockjaw into your one drops, and then
Hmm.
Wasp is gonna be so cool because she's gonna nuke the board for -2 and then replace herself. So you get some value other than just replacing herself, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
you do
yeah.
-2
Because
and
you
she
could do her
replaces herself,
twice.
and you can do
Yeah,
her. Yeah, exactly. You can do it multiple times. So High Evolutionary is gonna be what's up, but everyone's gonna play it.
yeah.
Literally everyone's
And
gonna
then
play it.
for that last one, Living Tribunal. That
Yeah.
one's a really interesting one, man. To be able to even out your power across all three locations. That one might be kind of fun because just imagine adding that into like a destruction deck, and make it null like as big as shit, and then throwing tribunal on there so that all that power just gets spread out. If you can get them both
Yeah,
out there.
he's fascinating, dude. I can't peg this guy. I can't tell if he's great or terrible.
Yeah.
They did buff him though. He was like a 6'4", and they buffed him to a 6'6".
Mm.
Um, he is really fascinating. Honestly, I don't know what to make of Tribunal. He could be dope. Like I guess he got a little nerf too. Like nerfing Sanctorum and plundering Castle. He would really throw
Oh,
lots of power into those locations, right?
oh
Where he doesn't
yeah,
have to
being
play
able to
guys,
spread it to
right?
locations you can't
Yeah,
touch. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So like he's kind of neat that way. But the way he works is like if you have like only one power left over, then you lose it. But if you have two power left over, you gain a power. So he
Right,
rounds
right.
down if you only have one power left over, and then he rounds up if you have two power left over. So like let's say you
Mm.
had 13 power on board, then he would
Hmm.
spread 4, 4, 4, right? That
Right.
13th power would just be gone. But if you
Yeah.
had 14 power, right, then it would go 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. It would round up to 15, right? You'd
Mm.
actually give you one additional power,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So that's the way he works. If anyone's curious about that, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you'd really want to put this guy in a massive point slam deck. So like maybe even my Darkhawk Dino, but you're using your turn 6, to play him out, and he's only adding 2 power to each location. So that's kind of like
Yeah.
making him like a Mr. Fantastic. Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
Like he's
essentially,
6
like
power,
a
but
really
he's
good
basically
Mr.
just a
Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic, right? He's basically just a Mr.
Yeah,
Fantastic. It's funny. Yeah.
yeah, because he's gonna spread your shit thin for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. He's really super interesting for sure. So we'll have to see what that guy's about. I know people are gonna buy him. See, he should be a big bad, right? Because he's like in the Marvel world, he's a big bad. Like he's like
Yeah,
a galaxy wielding guy. High Evo is like pretty weak sauce, but it's just because the deck he makes is unique that makes High Evo so sick.
yeah, yeah. Do you think are you gonna buy any of the Ghost Spider stuff like Spider Pig and Spider Man
It's a move.
2099?
It's like move decks, right? I don't know
It's a
if I will
move
because I'm
heavy
not a
deck.
big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of move,
Hmm.
but I mean, I'm gonna have tokens to spend, right? Like you're getting no matter what, like one card a month. So
You're
it's like
getting
I'll buy
Ghost Spider,
something.
so
Yeah, you're
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get and you're getting Ghost Spider. So it's like I'll buy one of these probably. Um,
yeah.
I don't know
I
which
think
one, but
Spider Ham, I believe, just moves a card that's at that location, one of your enemy's cards, to a different location.
oh yeah, you can move one of your enemy's cards. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, so
I
that's
like
like
that.
that's like having
But I
a
think it's
Juggernaut.
random, right? Like I think it just randomly moves one, like Stegron.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It'll just
Dude,
move
how
one. It'll just
dope!
only
You know when you have
one.
like a move card like the Space Stone, and like the cards like they like float.
Yeah, yeah,
Imagine if
yeah.
like you played Spider Pig, and then like your opponent's board started floating, and you could slide a card where you wanted it to go. How tight
Yeah,
would
that
that
would be
be,
cool.
dude?
That
Where you
would
could
be pretty
move one
cool.
of your opponent, like you actually are moving it. Like, oh
Yeah,
man,
like
that'd
you
be like the sickest
you
card.
see the options of the cards that
Yes,
float up,
up
and
to
you can be
move,
like,
and
all
you
right, I want
move
that
one.
one.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
there. Yeah, yeah,
that would be so sick, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you would probably use that Spider Ham, and then use like Shadow King, or not Shadow King, but uh Kingpin. So when they move to
Oh
that
yeah,
location,
Kingpin.
can
Yeah,
control
like
it, it'll
turn.
display it
You're
in
right.
front of
Like
me.
turn 6, just play
Yeah.
Spider Pig to move your opponent out. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely, dude. For
but
sure.
yeah, we'll definitely talk about those next month when those all come out
Yeah, we'll talk
and
about that next
see
time.
which
Yeah.
one we get. I might get Spider-Man 2099. I don't know about Spider-Ham. Maybe I get him. It's a good one. It's a 1/1 card that could give you a few options, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, man. So let's talk about
Last
you had
topic here.
talked about your deck that you were playing was mostly Darkhawk, and you managed to get up to Infinite, and you've been utilizing Iron Lad in that deck, right? Ever since you bought Iron Lad, you've just kept it in that
Yeah,
deck.
I've kept it in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
even though he lost me that game once.
Yeah, I mean, one time isn't really much of a big deal, because it's gonna happen. Sometimes RNG is just a bitch, but we get around it.
It's a cruel mistress at times. Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, I'm like really tempted in trying to buy Iron Lad, but at the same time, like I don't even have Darkhawk, so I'd like be getting it, and I wouldn't even really like be able to like utilize it to that full extent. I mean, I guess I'd get it eventually, but I don't know. I don't think that in 2 weeks I'd be able to get
Darkhawk.
another 6K tokens to be able to get high evolutionary. And so because that would give me the chance to just get a big bad off rip without having to wait for it to cycle through the store and whatnot, I think I just want
Yeah.
to wait for that, and possibly wait and see if maybe I catch Iron Lad in the shop on the four
Yeah,
five
because
set.
you're probably going to have 6K before Iron Lad leaves the shop, most likely.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you're like
because I
really
only need
close. Yeah.
700, so I'm
Yeah, so you'll
if I
probably
probably
get there.
opened up one of these 3 cases, probably has like 300 or 400 tokens in it, and then by the time I complete next week's list of stuff, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna get more
But
tokens.
you don't think that 2 weeks will be enough time to rebuild your collection tokens to get Big Bad?
I don't think
That's
so.
what's so like tough because like it's really cool that Ireland is just sitting there on the shop and you don't have to pin it. But like
Hmm.
he'll move over to the Series 5 shop and you gotta wait till he comes up again. Right?
Right?
Like if you want to get him, you have to wait till he appears again. And
Yeah, exactly.
that's like what's so tempting about wanting to try to like buy him now
Yeah.
because you don't know when he'll come up again, in your rotation. Uh,
Yeah, and then you don't really see people like I still haven't come across anybody who used Iron Lad against me. So it's really scarce the people that are using Iron Lad.
Yeah, no one's buying it. No one's buying it because they're all saving their tokens like you, man, for high elo.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm
Talk
saying. Is
about
like you're gonna
evolutionary.
see everyone freaking playing high evolutionary, man.
Gosh,
Like
that's gonna
everyone.
suck. Yeah,
Yeah, like literally the whole world, dude.
yeah,
Um,
man. But, but yeah, it's a good card, man.
it is. It's a
And
strong card. I really like him. He does occasionally win you some games. It's
yeah,
just like it's high variance. Sometimes he's just okay, and then sometimes like he's really good, and then
yeah,
very very rarely he's bad.
yeah, for sure. And me currently, I've been playing. I like I tried to play like some decks, and I was like, oh, let me throw like Nebula in there and run with Nebula and stuff, and I wasn't really having like great luck, so I was like reducing my score, because I started off at 70, and then I was going down to like 68, and I was like, dude, bump this, man, like I need to get back up. So I'd go back to my Galactus deck, you know what I'm saying, to get myself back up, or I'd use like Thanos. And so like basically I had put in my Galactus deck, I took out Yondu and I put Nebula in just to see, like if that would be like a cool swap. You know what I mean? Because I'm destroying all that shit anyway, so it doesn't really matter, you know. But it's that fact that Yondu just takes one more card out of their deck, that makes it so like Yondu is like you gotta
Well,
keep
and
it.
also adds it to null, right? Like that's what's good
Yeah,
about
and it adds
Yondu
it
is
to
you're
null.
adding the power to null, where Nebula isn't doing that. So I
Right,
would
right.
definitely run Yondu in the Galactus deck over Nebula for sure.
Yeah, it just sucks because there's like certain things where it's like really easy to spot, Like if you got Yondu, it's like okay, he's either running destruction or he's running.
Yeah, you're kind
So
of giving away your strategy.
yeah,
Like no one's
he
really
is
running
throwing out
Yondu
there.
except
And,
Galactus
and you
folk.
don't want to hold. You don't want to hold Yondu. You want to throw Yondu out first turn because you want to
Yeah,
destroy something good as early as
yeah,
possible. Because if
absolutely,
you
dude.
save it, he's already got all his good shit in his hand,
You
and it's
never hold
irrelevant.
Yondu. Yeah, you never
Yeah,
hold Yondu.
but yeah, so then I decided to put her into my my Thanax deck. And she actually is like okay in there. Like she doesn't necessarily add anything, but she doesn't really take away. I'm trying to think of what I took out for her, and I can't remember because I did it so long ago.
Did you
So
did you pull a one cost from your deck?
I believe I pulled a one cost. Yeah,
You
I
pulled
pulled
out Ant
something that
Man
was
then?
one.
Ant
Yeah,
Man's
I
the
might
only
have pulled.
one.
I pulled out Ant-Man for her because it was like
Huh.
a lot of times where
That's
I
an
don't know.
interesting swap, but I don't like that decision.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like it because you made your Spectrum weaker.
that's true. Oh, because she
Because
doesn't have the
Nebula is not
ongoing ability
ongoing.
on there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he is ongoing. So
But a lot of like more times than not, I don't end up playing Spectrum. Like she don't end up winning me the games or whatever. Like there's times where I get to pull her, and then it's just like, damn, I don't have enough ongoings out there because I have so many stones out there on the field taking it up, and so it doesn't like the 2 points that she'll give me, for like all the sections because I try to spread the ongoings out so that I don't get like enchantress like all in one
yeah,
go.
we
And
got to play some matches. I love this deck. This is definitely one of my favorite decks in the game.
Mhm,
I just hate that it's directly countered by freaking Darkhawk. I hate that. But you
mhm.
probably don't see too much Darkhawk.
I
I don't know.
don't. I do see Darkhawk from time to time, but I don't see it like constantly. Like I feel it's so weird how we're in SoCal, but like we have like a whole list, a whole separate list of people that we play
I
against.
know it's bizarre,
And
dude.
I see the same people often. Like there's names that I've just remembered, like, oh, I beat this dude like before, or I lost this guy once or something like
Right.
that. And I see their names like all the time. And I don't know if it's because I'm playing around the same time at night, while I'm at work or whatnot, and it's just the same people got the same schedule and they play or what it is. But I'll come across people and I'll do the Spider-Man thing, like, yo, I know you, like I've played you before. And
Yeah, very funny,
there's some
dude.
names that just people have like weird ass names, and you just kind of remember them. But yeah, Spectrum. That's a cool one. The Dan
That's a
Hippo.
cool variant, huh? The Dan Hip.
Yeah. But yeah, like Spectrum. I don't play her that often. I end up playing like a couple of other things. To get out like 2 or 3 cards at one time, as opposed to just playing the one or whatnot. I kind of feel like she should be reduced by one cost.
She was a 5/5.
Yeah, if she was a
But
5/5.
dude, like, look, like everything in here, every card is ongoing in this deck. Every single card, every one of
Except for
them.
the rocks, but yeah, I got you.
Well, yeah, except for the stones. But like, if you're just adding like 4 of these, right? Then that's 8 power you're adding to her, so she becomes a 6/13. Right. So if
If
you
you
made
have
her a
4 what?
5/5, if you just have 4 ongoings on the
Mm-hmm.
board, then she's adding 8 power to the game, so she becomes a 6/13. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I
like,
hear you. That's
but
what
I
she's
but I
adding.
I agree. She might be okay at a 5/5.
Like she wouldn't be too broken, you know what I'm saying? Like where she's
No,
like, oh,
because I mean, Devil Store on his own is like a 5/15 or a 5/17 usually.
yeah,
Like he is really strong.
five
So
five nine min, damn near,
so a 6/13 is not quite enough. But I mean, I would usually have more than just like 4. But as you get past 4, she's like really strong. She's kind of like a little living tribunal. She's like spreading power out across
Right,
everywhere,
right, yeah,
winning your lanes that you had no business winning. So I like her. I like it a lot. But yeah, I agree with you. I do get bothered that she's a 6 cost. I feel like she shouldn't be a 6 cost.
yeah.
Like, why is she a 6 cost, but Blue Marvel's a 5 cost?
Yeah, and then on top of that, right? It's not like she's another ongoing card. She's an on reveal card. So
She doesn't buff herself.
Cosmo,
Yeah.
yeah, Cosmo, you can't drop her in a Cosmo lane. You know what I'm saying? So
No,
if you've
no,
got
you
any
can't.
of your other lanes clogged up, or somebody drops a Cosmo in another lane, you had a Cosmo in another lane, you only got one
Dude, I
lane.
swear, this is the
You know?
ultimate anti-Galactus deck, dude. You must never lose to Galactus. Like, you drop Goose, Then you drop Cosmo. And you drop where are they playing Galactus at, man? Like I don't know. I don't know where they're
Uh,
playing Galactus at in this deck.
it really depends. You got to go against like a Wave Galactus. They come out really quick. Like the
Yeah,
Wave
but you can't
Galactus
play
come
it
out
into the
sooner.
Goose lane, and you can't
Yeah,
play Galactus into the Cosmo lane.
but you also got to get. You got to manage to get all of those
Yeah, you
cards
got to
to
get
be able
those,
to
but
do
you're
that.
gonna
So,
have
yeah.
them more often than not. Like basically, like you see your opponent play Yondu in one lane, you play Goose in the other,
Mhm.
right? And then like you play Cosmo in the third. You know, like
Yeah.
there's where is he supposed to play? You know,
Yeah, for sure.
or
But
you cheat out Professor X. You know,
yeah, it's
and
the
screws him
algorithm
up.
is also a little weird too, because I seem to like when I have my Galactus deck, I seem to come across other Galactus decks quite often.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. That's so
I don't
funny
know
you mentioned
why.
that, man.
It's
So
super
many
weird
people
like
think like that there's like deck MMR. Like so not
that.
just your own personal MMR, but like a deck MMR. So like when you play a certain deck, the system like recognizes it and like
Yeah.
pits you against like your
I'd be
counter.
like I'd be like,
But
damn dude, I swear
but second dinner's come out like multiple times saying there
it's
is no
not.
deck. The system does not look at your deck. But dude, it feels that way,
It's
dude.
just
It
hella
definitely feels that way.
coincidental that I
And you know,
got
and
practice
a lot
decks
of people
so
feel
ass
that
good
way
too.
too.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or like I go Thanos, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing the other dude got rocks. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah, it's like, damn it. I know, man. I know.
yeah,
I hear
man,
you.
it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, man. So I've been on my journey, man. I literally will switch from Thanos, with currently Nebula in there, and it's kind of like because I feel like I spend this money on this premium, and it's like, yeah, I'm getting all this other stuff, but like I get this card up front that not everybody's got this card up front, and so I feel like it's almost a waste if I let it go to the series 4 or 5 rotation belt and I didn't play it. Like I feel like I got no play out of Nimrod just because Nimrod was just too high to use. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah, but
felt like I
see,
got
you
no
have a
play.
Galactus deck. Oh, but you don't have Shuri.
Yeah, I don't have
A lot of
Shuri.
people were doing like a turn 6 Galactus deck with Nimrod, which you could have played because you like
Yeah.
Galactus.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. That was a way to do it, and I saw some people doing that on me and stuff like that. But yeah, but like certain cards, then it's just like if you don't have certain ways to make things work, then it becomes obsolete. It's just like yeah,
you're so close to having this deck though, right here.
I am, man,
This one's really
because I
close.
have
You're just
I
missing
have
Darkhawk
Black
because you
Bolt.
have stature.
Yeah, I have Black Bolt. I have Stature.
You don't need Jeff. You could just play like Nightcrawler instead.
Yeah,
And this one runs Nebula. There's like a big part. There's like a big part of this deck is Nebula.
right. But yeah, I just cannot get my freaking Darkhawk, man. I haven't
Yeah,
got it
this
yet.
is the one
But
card
you
you
say he's
need.
dropping down to 3 soon, so I might have a
Yeah, he'll
better
be
chance.
easier to get soon.
I
You could
just hope
even
they
use
don't nerf
your
his
free
ass some
series
more by
3,
that
but I think
time.
you should get She-Hulk for your free series 3. That's
Yeah.
so crazy. You don't have any of the dopest cards, man.
I mean, I got some dope ass cards. I got Null, you
You
know?
do.
I
You do
got
got some dope
dope ones.
cards, but I'm just saying like some of
Yeah,
like the most important ones, like, you
yeah.
know, some
I
of the
mean,
most important
I
series
had
3
got
cards.
Red Skull. Red Skull was one of the 3 series cards that I got. Like I saw him and I was like, oh yeah, let me get him because he was just big, but and I had a chance to get She-Hulk, but like I was trying to wait and get like Dracula or what was it? Venom. I was really trying to get Venom because I was running the
I know, man. I can't
Null
believe it to
deck,
waste your
you know?
freaking
So
pick on Venom.
the Venom is
Dang.
good, man. I like Venom, dude. But
Well, he sucked before. Now he's okay, maybe.
I
You
still
definitely
thought
gotta
he
try.
I still thought he was good for the option with Arnim Zola. That's what I really wanted, just because like it was like another card that I could take with Arnim and it would still do me good. It wouldn't just like eliminate it. And then it beefed up my freaking Null as well.
You don't
But
have Dracula.
I don't have
You don't have
Dracula. I don't got
you don't have
Maximus.
Maximus.
Nope.
Dang, you don't have Shuri.
I don't got sure.
All these are Series 3 cards. These are all
Yeah,
Series 3
now.
cards.
Yeah, they series 3 now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So
You
I
got like
still got some growing to do. I
you're
still got
missing
some
some of
work.
like the best cards in the game for
Yeah, I
sure.
don't got Crossbone. I literally just got
Yeah, he's
team up.
not that great. He's not that great, but he's okay as like a replacement for like Darkhawk or something.
Mm-hmm.
But he's really not that great.
Yeah. And then
She's really good with
my
Sauron. It's a
father.
shame you don't have Typhoid
Mhm.
Mary because she's really good with Sauron, dude.
Oh yeah,
Really good with Sauron.
because she doesn't have that negative ability to your other
Because you
card.
shut it off with Sauron. Yeah, you shut off the ability. So she's just a 4/10, which is like super cool.
Yeah.
Um, you don't have Valkyrie, which is
Dude,
understandable. She's
you've
not that
upgraded
great.
Devil Dinosaur a shitload.
I've played a lot of Devil
Six
Dino.
times, man.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
grief.
dude.
Oh man, that's funny.
I
Yeah, I
know. I
got
still don't have an Inky with him either. Still no ink.
what so if you upgrade it you can get an ink or something? Is that how that
It's like
goes?
after the third, I think third or fourth, third upgrade, you get an ink.
Oh,
You
okay.
get
So
an
there's
ink.
a reason to keep going. After a certain period of time, I was like,
Yes.
man, why am I keep going if they just gonna give me like another different version with like dots instead of bubbles or something like that, you know?
No, like after a while, you get options to get the ink and you get options to get the gold as well.
Mm.
Which
Gold?
I've never got a
I've
gold.
never seen a gold.
I only have 2 inks.
Which one's an ink?
Um, I have where Sunspot's an ink,
Oh, okay.
and then I have my Cosmo, which I love. Is that an ink? Where's my Cosmo at?
Three three.
My inky Cosmo here,
Okay.
which
Looks
is
like
really
a black
cool
and white.
because he has the black swirl with the ink. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So those are the 2 inks I've ever opened. But I've
Mm.
tried getting inks on some other cards. Like for sure, I've been trying to get an ink on a Devil Dino. I've been upgrading that guy as often as I can. I can never get
Yeah,
an
I would
ink.
like to get an ink on Galactus. I think that would fit him really well.
And I was trying to get an ink on America Chavez. I've upgraded her, a few
Yeah.
times as well, and an ink on She-Hulk,
She
but I
Hulk.
can't get an ink on that either. So
Yeah.
yeah, like that's where I'm at on some of my ink options. But Dino,
Yeah.
man, come on.
But yeah, currently I'm at 70 78 or 79. One of those two. Like I just hit 79, you know, so I had like
Okay,
0 cubes in the 79. Um
nice.
but yeah, so I'm slowly climbing.
That's the hardest climb is the 70 to 80 because once you get into 80, you get that free 50, and then you're only like 5 away from 90, and you get the
You're
free
right.
50.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
nice. Like getting over that 70 to 80 hump is
You
like
get
the
that
one that's
good
like,
head start. Shoot, yeah.
yeah,
I wish it
yeah, and
was
then
kind of
you,
like that, you know, like when you started playing, like you win something, and then boom, it's like 75, or like you start and it drops you to 75, not 70, you know, to give you that kickstart. But yeah, you got to get through that gate threshold to get to
that
85, and
initial
then
10
you can f
ranks.
up a
Yeah,
little bit, and then you just keep working your way back up.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying,
right.
to 90, and then phew, you know what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like last month, you know, I had hit that 95, and then it was just like maybe a couple of good games where folks was just generous with 8 cubes. I had a game last night where it was like no way this dude was gonna win. I had Spider-Man his section, and he still
Uh
stayed.
huh.
He stayed. Like you thought I wasn't gonna have anything to beat what you had?
That's bizarre,
That's
dude.
crazy. I be getting mad bots,
You
dude.
didn't think I was gonna have
Mad bots, man.
anything?
Like
You get mad
I
bots,
I
yeah.
Spider-Maned you. You're stuck right now with this score. Like your shit is not that high, bro.
You
I
didn't think
could
I was
tank
gonna play
with
a
you.
card?
Yeah, you yeah, man.
Dude,
So
that's
I love
bizarre,
getting those,
dude.
man. When I
That's
can.
extra generous.
I'm just like, thank you. I thumbs up him, man. Like, thanks, bro. Thanks for staying in there
You
for
fist
me.
pound,
Passing
dude. Like
around
you're
me.
my homie.
Yeah.
Let's fist pound that, dude. Like you my new best
Yeah, you
friend.
definitely deserve a fist bump for giving me 8 cubes for free.
You deserve the fist bump, dude. Like, jeez.
Yeah, last night was also good for a lot of bluffing. It's obvious that folks want to climb. Like, you know, I'll just be like, I'm not really too sure. And I'll just snap. And then they'll just run. Like, they didn't even want to test
I
it.
know
Like
you see him thinking a little too
if
long.
they're not 100% sure, just snap.
Yeah.
They'll run,
Give them
man.
a reason to leave, man.
Yeah, I'll
Give them
just
a
get my
reason.
1 cube in the fight
Yeah.
and you know
Yeah.
go
I'll take
on.
my Cuban run, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there was like one where I was like pretty sure. I was like, man, I don't got nothing. Like I'm about to be asked out in this one. And I was just like, you gotta pay to see this. I
Yeah.
snapped. he
Yeah,
ran. So I was like, all
see, I don't
right.
do stuff like that. Where you have a bad hand and you snap. I never snap with bad hands, dude.
It's just because you just don't know the outcome,
Yeah,
and
you're like, you got to
sometimes,
pay to see this. You want to see this third location? You got
yeah,
to pay to see
yeah,
that third
yeah.
location,
Sometimes
right?
these dudes is on the edge. I get it.
Yeah, man.
I've made some dangerous gambles where I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I got this. Like, what's he gonna pull? And then he pull out something big as shit, and I lose. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, all right, you got me. Like, I was stupid. I was stupid on that one. You got it, dude.
You got it. Here you go. That's a donation to you.
Oh man,
Oh man, that's
but
too funny.
anyways, man,
Yeah.
another solid week of some Marvel gameplay. I kind of wish that they just gave you like more quests once you like, or no, I wish that they gave you more credits. I feel like there's like, because it's such an infinite ladder that you got to climb on the green one or whatever,
This one.
yeah, your collection level. Like, it's such a long way to climb, you know what I mean? They should just give you more credits. Like, when you've used up all your quests, you've used up all of the freaking the weekly joints, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should get cubes and credits and boosters, you know what I'm
Dude, I'm
saying? Like,
always I'm always so
boosters do
sad
not matter like
when the
when you
weekly
don't have
challenge
credits.
when the weekly challenge is finished, man. I'm always so sad. It's like, damn,
Right. It almost makes
right?
you
It's
like
like
not want to keep
that was
playing,
the
you know?
only way I was getting good credits is that the freaking weekly challenge was like keeping it heavy. And then
Yeah.
when that's gone, you just see like a dip in
Yeah. And then
credit
these
production.
quests aren't really giving you that much credit, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not much, you know? So it's like, if you gave a little bit more, if they were all like 100, if base ones were like 100 and then hard ones were like 200 or 300 or something like that, it would just allow you to like, keep going. But like, it would just make me want to just play even more when I've done all my quests and stuff like that. If I got a little bit of credit each time I played, even if it was like 25 credit or something like that. Every
Well,
time
they
I
give
win.
you what they give you every time you play is a little bit of experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
For your
credit,
for
so
your rank or
yeah.
whatever for that thing. But it's like, that's cool, but it's so minuscule. Like, it doesn't really matter. But the 25, getting like 25 credits if I win, not
That's
if
a
I
crap
lose.
ton though, dude.
Not if I lose, but if I got 25 credits for one win, like, that would be amazing. You know what I'm saying?
But that's like you would like after 4 wins, you have 100 credits. Like you would max out your credits quick, dude.
What do you mean?
People play like hundreds and hundreds of games a day, you know?
Mm, yeah. I mean, if they gave it to us as a limit, right? Because they say they won't give you any experience after like a certain amount of games that you play. You won't gain any more experience. So if they did the same thing with credits, like they allow
Yeah, but
you.
they can't do 25 though. It'd have to be like 5.
If they gave you like extra like 500 credits, like
No,
as a max,
5.
like you play that many games, you can get 500 credits.
Yeah, maybe 500 credits a day at like 5. So you'd
Yeah.
have to win like 100 games that day.
Yeah. I mean, even
And that
5
I can
credits would
see.
be something,
That
because
I
you
can
playing a
see.
lot of games just to get up. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of one cube games that you got to play, that you just got to eat. Like, you just spent 5 minutes playing for a one cube game because the dude bails on you. Right when he sees shit hit the fan, and 4 was on the line, he's bailing at 1. You know what I mean? And all
Yeah.
you get is that little teeny bit of experience and them little weak ass boosters. You know what I mean? When if you could get that
I know, dude.
that
People
little one
hate the
cube,
booster system,
25
man,
credits, and then that booster,
because the boosters have no value really. Because
yeah.
you get
You
so
you
many of
have
them
you have a
eventually.
shitload of boosters and no credit to do nothing with it. Like,
Yeah, no credits to spend them on.
why
Yeah.
I'm doing that? You know what I'm saying? What I got with it? And then you get the booster, you get the boosters for the cards that you got in your deck. And that's cool, but like, I don't know. Credits would be way more valuable. Credits would make me play a whole lot more. I'd be trying to play. You know what I'm saying? Get the credits.
I
500
know,
a day,
but you,
500 nights a day. Yeah.
yeah, I hear you. I
And I
know, and you're
wouldn't be
so
heartbroken.
desperate to get Series 3 complete, man.
Yeah.
Like that's the
I
thing
got a
you're trying to fight
long,
for.
long way to go. And they keep throwing these damn avatars in my shit. I got a long way to go, man. I
Well,
got
and they
some
also keep adding Series 3 cards every month because that series drop. So it's like
right.
every month they add new Series 3 cards, just makes it harder and harder to get to Series 3 complete.
Exactly.
Um,
So yeah, it
yeah,
just
that's what I
makes
was saying, man. You need to switch focuses, man. Like maybe I don't know. Token Tuesdays are still sticking valuable,
ooh,
but you should probably start spending your gold on what's up?
they got Dazzler on the market.
Ah, suck. No, don't spend my tokens on that, dude. I got Dazzler.
You got Dazzles?
Or do I have wait, did I
A
have
4/4.
Shanna in my list somewhere in here?
Shanna's kind of cool.
No, I don't have Shanna. Okay, good. Where did I see Shanna at? Was it on your list?
No, you saw Shanna on that webpage.
Oh, it was that webpage? Okay. It's Dazzler. I have Dazzler.
Dazzler's a 4/4.
I pulled her in a box. There she is.
Mhm.
Piece of junk, dude.
4 cards at each location, dude. That's a Thanos deck card right there.
Actually, you're right. This isn't bad for Thanos, and she's ongoing.
Yeah, you throw all that shit out there for Thanos.
And she be 10, a 4/10. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe that might be fun playing around with. You want Dazzler because you want to do it in Thanos?
Now I'm not about to drop 3K on her for that.
Yeah, just to try that out.
Just to fool around with her in the Thanos deck. I might see it if I end up getting her pulled or something like that. I'll check her out, but I think she would probably do pretty decent in Thanos deck. I don't know what I'd take out for her though. That would be the thing, something I'd take out.
Yeah, like if we looked at that, I don't know either, dude. She'd have to pull I don't know.
You wouldn't pull Kazar out.
You might pull Kazar out.
Nah,
I thought about pulling him out because he's not that great. Because you only have the stones and then one drop.
Yeah,
Like Blue Marvel's way better, I think, because he does everything.
because he does
Kazar's
everything
just
in
doing
one.
one. But maybe you would drop him for Dazzler, because even if let's say you had all 6 stones out, he's a 4/10. And that's what Dazzler would be, right? If you had every zone filled.
Yeah,
Right?
you got
And so,
everything filled in.
you're not going to have all your 6 stones out usually. So he won't ever be a 4/10, where Dazzler will be maybe a 4/10 more frequently than not. I don't
And
know.
it's
Maybe they're even. I don't know. I don't know which one's better.
actually, yeah, I think that could work. It would just be that it's like, it's like a heavy in one instead of sprinkled out everywhere. Like,
Yeah, and also
Zar's a
heavy in one too.
sprinkled
Yeah.
out everywhere. She would be a heavy hitter in one area by
And
herself.
she's cool too because you can do it like the last turn of the game, so they can't shang it.
Exactly.
Right. So very last turn you fill up the lanes and she boosts by 6. That's pretty strong, dude. That's interesting. That we might have to try that when we stream later.
Yeah. Just try and put that in your
slip her in and
you can
see if
play
she's
around
better
with
than Kazar.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be a decent swap just because of the fact that Kazar only boosts the ones.
It would just
And
suck
you can
because if you
still
have
get
Professor
Spectrum
X
out.
in the lane, then you're never going to fill up all your lanes. She'll never hit you there, but he would.
But most of the time, I don't be throwing out Professor X like that. Because there'd be so many other cards that I end up getting. Like, Professor X doesn't fall in my hands like that, or it just doesn't seem like the right time. Like,
we got to play this one together, too.
Which one?
The one I shared, this one here. This Dino X. I think this might be pretty strong for you.
Oh, okay.
Pretty cool. You just said you had this deck.
Yeah, I have everything there. That one's pretty basic.
Because Daredevil's pretty dope in here. I like Daredevil a lot.
Yeah.
So you can easily screw over a Galactus player with Arrow, man, for sure.
Yeah. Dude, Magneto? Polarized or whatever? Which
Polaris?
that one, yeah, Polaris. And yeah, basically those have screwed me over quite a few times.
Yeah, Magneto stakes some wins, dude.
I'm like, damn, dude. And of course I got a 3 out there, on a Galactus, because it's like I pulled Wave. You know what I mean? I threw Wave and he Magnetos. And it's like, God dog it, man. You know what I mean? It drags Wave over to the side of it to the shutdown.
Yeah, especially if he has priority, dude. Yeah.
Sometimes Polaris will get you with one of those
little one drops. They pull Yondu. They pull Yondu right over into your Galactus lane. I know, man.
Yeah, and I've been gotten a couple of times by Professor X. Like I said, like my first week, it was Professor X out the wazoo, man. They just drop it. I would drop Galactus, Professor X, and of course Galactus got this weak ass two. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Professor X has a three, and it's just it's the loss.
Dude,
It's
that's
like
why I was like wondering if you were able to climb with Galactus because it just felt like there are so many counters out there at the moment.
I was after a while I was winning games. Like I can win games now, but that first week, I don't know. Professor X was like on some steroids or some shit like that. Everybody wanted to play with Professor X. I don't
Yeah,
know
because
why.
because of Nebula, dude.
Oh, okay. Because of
Because
locking down and
you
stuff.
play Nebula and then you drop Professor X in that lane and then Nebula grows. So even if
Yeah,
like you're losing it originally, she'll help you win it, right? Professor X, right?
right.
So like yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
but
why everyone was running this with
every
Nebula.
time I tried to use her and Professor X, like she would get destroyed before Professor X even came into my hand, or I couldn't get either of those two like to get that matchup, And then Storm is like she's cool, but you just Doctor Doom that shit and it's like irrelevant. You know what I mean? That you had Storm out there. It's too much stuff. So or she just gets picked off by a Gambit. I've had that happen quite a few times, so just don't get lucky. But yeah, man. So that's all we got for the
Yeah.
podcast this week. Um, we are gonna try to do like a lot more streaming as far as like gameplay and stuff like that. I know Sir Knight did it at least like 3 times this week, something like that, and I was able to get in one time. Uh, Quality wasn't that great just because cell phone reception and whatnot. I was playing on my phone, but hopefully I can try to.
Yeah, I think we were gonna try to stream tonight, weren't we?
Yeah, we can try to stream
Like a
tonight if
late
we
night one. You
get
mentioned
a
like maybe we
chance.
do like a late night stream. We can try to get you up there, climb some
Yeah,
links.
yeah, for sure. But I'll hit you up, and we'll see if we can work out a time and whatnot. But I gotta get some sleep. I'm tired.
Yeah, I got you, man.
Yeah, but all right, man. We'll catch you guys later. This is Snap Squad, and we out.
Peace.